So we are here for crochet along video number 2. I have help today, so hopefully it'll be a little bit easier to see things. I'll be able to move the camera around a little bit more, but we are starting on row number 4 today. So you should have, you can see that, 1, 2, 3, 4 of these rows already, and we will be moving forward from there today for the rest of the crochet along. So I'm hoping we can finish this today. I think that'll be pretty easy. And if not, then we'll do number 3. So if you're ready, we'll get started. All right, so we are starting on row 5. So you should have 1, 2, 3, 4 rows here. I'm gonna go ahead and show you an increase because this is the point where we're gonna start increasing. I'm gonna show you an increase on row 4. So I'm gonna take this out here where we connected with a slip stitch. And we are going to do 2 half double crochets in this last stitch here. So you should already have 1. So we're going to go ahead and add another one. And then you're going to join with your slip stitch. There you go. All right, so we're going to keep working, going into that back loop. And crochet along together. It's nice to keep a little bit of a looser hold on your yarn and on your hook. You don't want to stress your hands or stress your wrists when you're working with these hooks. And if you keep the hold on your yarn too tight, it can be extremely difficult to actually get the hook pulled through all 3 of these. So I feel like to keep that fluid motion, you're going to want to loosen up just a little bit on that hold. It'll help you move a little more quickly. And if you're like me, you're going to continue chasing yarn around on your table throughout the entire project. But that's okay. It comes with the territory. What I love about this pattern, it's super, super simple. You know, once you get the hang of where the stitches go, you just have to increase every 3 to 4 rows. It's kind of up to you as to how big you want that other side to be. When I first started making these, I didn't use any increases at all, so it was just one single tube that was one single size the whole way, and it worked, but I feel like this really gives it a nice flow when you wear it. All right, so I'm back around. I'm gonna connect here. Slip stitch, and on to the next row. Find that back loop. Well, that just turned into a tangled mess. See what we can do with that. Okay, there we go. If you haven't already realized, pulling from the center of the yarn is not often the best strategy because it can quickly turn into a rat's nest. like that just did for me, but easy fix. And just make a quick knot. This is your MacGyvering on the go. There you go. And you can just snip those edges here. And that's how I reconnect my yarn as well. So it makes it pretty easy. Okay. And on we go. I feel like that's one of the only negatives to working with these big hooks, one of the few negatives at least. You go through your yarn a lot more quickly, so it's a lot more pulling out of the yarn balls than spent actually crocheting, it seems like sometimes. Get a bunch of this ready. And if you have a better system for hanging onto your yarn, I would love to hear about it. So be sure to drop a comment on there. Let me know how you handle the skeins running around while you're actually trying to get some work done. All right, what I usually do, you can actually see, you can go back and look where you've put two of your half double crochets into the same stitch where you've increased. I usually go every 3 rows, I'll do an increase. So here's the first one, second one, third one. So I'm gonna go one more round, so I'll do 2 rounds without increasing. And then this next one, when we get to the end, I will do another increase. All right, time for another increase. So we're gonna do our first half double crochet in that last stitch there, and we're gonna add one more into the same stitch. There you go, and then you're just gonna slip stitch to join again. Right, from there you've got 2 more rows. So at this point it gets super repetitive until the end. You have the option when it comes to length, how long you want to make these. Here we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 rows. With these, I usually go to maybe 12 or 13, 12 to 13 rows on this for length, so it'd be about double. I'm gonna go around one more set here for the video. But it'll get super repetitive if I do this all the way to the end, because it's you've got it. If you've got it now, you're going to be able to finish this all the way to the end on your own. I'm going to finish off this next one so you can see how I weave in my ends. And you'll be ready to go. I love these scarves because they're super, super quick to work up. I can usually make one in a couple hours. Maybe less, just depending on if I'm having to take breaks. But I love projects that are quick to work up. I get to play around with a lot more color and make a lot more of them, so it's enjoyable. And they're super squishy and cozy and chunky, and that's the style that I like to make, so it's very fitting for me. If you have super quick projects that work up that you really like, that use this chunky style, I would love to hear about them. I'm always looking for fun new patterns to try myself as well. So be sure to let me know, because I would love to try them out. All right, so for this last one, I'm not going to increase here. I'm going to go ahead and use the slip stitch to join. And for the joining, I don't know if I was super clear before, but with the join, you're going to go into the top 2 loops, not into the back loop. That's what leaves that back loop open when you do that first stitch into the same space where you joined. So we're going to slip stitch into those first 2 loops. Okay, and I'm going to show you guys how I weave in my ends. It's really, really, really simple with this pattern. So you're going to cut, give yourself a little bit of a tail here, and you're going to slip that yarn over, slip that yarn through, pull it tight, and then from there, see, there we go. You got your forget what these are called, embroidery needle. There you go, your embroidery needle. Tuck both of those in. And actually, that's my little trick. I like to wrap both of the yarn pieces around the needle, pull tight, pull the needle out, and then it's a lot easier to get both of those pieces through the needle. You're gonna go back through that first loop, and then I like to turn it to the inside. This is the outside with that nice ribbing. I like to turn to the inside, and I just find a couple of loops to pull these pieces of yarn through. So there's one, maybe I'll go through one more. Let's go through this one. Okay, and then from there, I pull the needle out, separate the 2 pieces, put one piece back through that needle, and go back through another loop. Just choose one more. And then from here, I do a double knot. So we'll go around and around again, and I'll pull tight. And then I do that again, around and around again, and I pull tight. And then from here, you're just going to snip those edges. And because this is so chunky, it really hides. So you're not gonna see that knot. So it makes for a really clean ending. You're not gonna have woven ends that then come unwoven as people wear them. And I do the same thing with this piece up top here. You'll pull that tight, and you'll do that same process, pulling both yarns through a piece, through the loops, and then separating. And then you can make your double knot, and you'll be ready to go. So I hope you enjoyed this, and if you complete them, I would love for you to tag me and show me your work. Yeah, that would be great. And hopefully if you enjoyed it, I can do more of these in the future. So until next time, happy crocheting.